Are we good? Okay, cool. Hey guys, what is up? It is I, the Vulpix Trainer. Today's card of the day for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Swords of Revealing Light. This one is an oldie but a goodie. If you guys are unfamiliar with its effects, then you've probably not played the game very long or you just haven't heard of it. Basically, it keeps the opponent from attacking for 3 turns, plus all monsters they control flip upwards. So, that's a pretty cool little thing if you want to kind of bide your time. Now, I'm not sure if it's limited. I know it's not banned, so if you guys want to get in on that action, I very well advise it. It's an awesome card, and it always has been an awesome card. And yeah, so without further ado, today here on Dueling Done Technical, it's episode 1, and what we're going to be doing in the series is bringing you some hot tips about some pretty cool duel mechanics you can use, and my personal thoughts on said things. So, these are kind of from my own mind and possibly Fodai's sometimes the Rad Ricers. I'm probably going to collaborate with some of the writings of this episode series. Like, these episodic series is just going to be really crazy. So, without further ado, today's topic is going to be the XZ monsters. XZ's monsters are very, very hard to stand up for one thing. Okay, so, the XZs, right? Oh my gosh. How come I freaking rehearse these videos and then I try to do them and they don't work? Okay, so the first things that are different between XZs and regular cards, let me just hold up a regular one real quick here. Now this is Vilespawn Archfiend, pretty cool little card right here. Couldn't tell you its effect because it's just so freaking long I'd be here all day. And that goes with lots of the XZs cards. Now you'll notice, with Vilespawn Archfiend, his stars under his name are actually to the right. So, Gorgonic Guardian, which is an XZ's monster, is a black card, but their stars are on the freaking left. What does that mean? Ah! I'm scared! Just kidding, no. If you're watching this, you probably already know what it is, but for those of you unfamiliar, it is actually called a rank. So, here's the thing. Most of these cards require some extremely technical types of things, and it can get very expensive to run them. So, for instance, Gorgonic Guardian here, let's read, 2 level 3 rock type monsters. These are an extra deck type of card, so what you'd have to do is you'd have to have 2 level 3 rock monsters, and then you gotta just, stack them on top of each other, and suddenly you have it, and you use its effects. And some of them, if not all, if I'm not mistaken, they actually cost 1 XC's material, is what the monsters you're stacked with. Say, like, I stack these 2 cards under it. The 2 cards under your XC's monster count as XC's material now. So when you use an effect, out it goes, and suddenly you just got a normal monster again, basically. So, that's a little quick rundown, but here's the thing, right? Some of these can get very expensive. For instance, right? Let's just go ahead and find Googly Eyes Drum Dragon. Now, the thing about this card is 2 level 8 machines are needed to run this guy. Get him out on the field. He's awesome. That's a little expensive even for now, with all the metagame, non-meta. Just good luck trying to get 2 level 8 machines out there without getting them killed and or getting them summoned at all, for that matter. So, there is a set of cards, though, that can be exploited a bit. Not quite exploited, but you can basically use them to help you along. So whenever you're running more than that, there's actually a set of them that's around 99 cards long called the numbers. I just so happen to have a couple on me. This is not all I own, of course. Number 21, Frozen Lady Justice, and number 43, Manipulator of Souls. Now this is where things get a little bit on the easy side, because the first card of support I have to show for these is actually a number himself, number 78, Number Archive. So, whenever you get this card, there's no other technicals other than you need 2 level 1 monsters to XC summon. Now, if you use his effect, though, there he is on the field. Well, if you use his effect, you can use him as a full XC's material cost. So, you can go ahead and use it on any of the 99 numbers. So, you can suddenly have your Manipulator of Souls or your Frozen Lady Justice out there. And so that is a pretty good little card to pick up. Again, he is number 78, Number Archive. You want to find this card if you're running numbers. One of the most known numbers is number 39, Utopia. He's kind of a whooping stick, though. I mean, he's not really got too much special about him. I'm pretty sure he has an effect, but I'm not 1,000%. I usually, the one time I've dueled with him, I used him as a whooping stick, I just kind of beat people up with him and didn't read his effect. But that's besides the point. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of done more technically, so we better not do that anymore. So, as for other numbers, basically same law applies as XCs, so they're the same in ways. But there's other than numbers, there's other ones. So you can't use Number Archive on, say, Raid Raptor, Rise Falcon, or the Digital Bug Corbage. So, what do you do with those? Well, I just so happen to have 3 cards right here that might be able to help a little bit. First of all is Onigami Combo. I picked up a couple of these just because I am going to build me an XC's deck, and it's going to be a very good thing. Say you have, let's just say, I don't know, these 2 are XC's materials, and this is your XC's monster that you have. Now, with this card, Onigami Combo, you basically sacrifice all of your XC's material off of your XC's monster, then you go ahead and you can attack twice this turn. So he becomes a beating stick and doesn't have any effects left, but I'm sure there's cards out there that allow you to put extra XC's material on, and he becomes a beating stick and gives you 2 attacks instead of 1 on a monster. So that's a pretty cool little card. Once again, Onigami Combo. Let's move on. So another thing you can do is Extra Net. So, on the opposite side, maybe you don't like running XC's material. How do you get the freak rid of them, or at least get something out of them when your opponent uses them? Well, this can be applied to anything from the extra deck, but I suggest an Extra Net for these. So what you do, and I'd throw a field barrier there just because you don't want them screwing with the field spell. With Extra Net, basically anytime an extra deck monster leaves your opponent's extra deck and becomes on the field, you actually get to draw a card. So, if you're having a duel with a guy who does that, this is a bit of a different card to run, but just remember, know your enemies, and you'll probably be able to know whether you can use that or not. So, the final thing I've got for you is this. Now, here's the cool thing. Serial spell. Now, I would like to tell you about this card because it basically doubles any card. Say you've got only one Onigami combo, but you got two XCs, right? Got limited attacks. This is just something I wanted to talk about because it actually doubles basically any spell. But it does have a pretty big price tag. Because you got to take your hand and throw it all in the graveyard. Now, there are decks that actually utilize the graveyard, so consider that a good way to get rid of your hand as well. Yep. So, with all that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed Dueling Done Technical Episode 1. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully you guys can throw me a comment, tell me what kind of technical things do you want to know about in Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. So, till then, peace!